All right, so yes, superstitions and how they involve animals and what it all means and where it all comes from. That's what we're talking about. So let's check out the article. The first sentence says, here's another superstition. As we mentioned yesterday, superstitions are what people think of as being good luck or bad luck. It's not based on science. It's not based on fact. It's just based on a feeling, a lucky feeling. All right.
Your beliefs and a feeling.
That's right. So some people, it says, think black cats bring bad luck.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
They say if a black cat crosses your path, if you're walking down the street and a black cat runs across in front of you, that could be bad luck. Yes, some people do believe that. And the next thing we have is a question. What's the explanation behind this? Well, that's what we're looking at for today and also yesterday. The explanation behind some of these superstitions. An explanation, well, it's a noun, and it's the noun form of the verb to explain. When I explain something, I give you more information to make it easy for you to understand something, probably something that's a little bit complicated or a little bit difficult. So if I explain it, I give you more facts, and you go, ah, I get it. Well, what I was saying, all of that explaining I was doing, that is the explanation. All right, so if you don't understand something in class, you put up your hand and you say, teacher, I don't get it. Well, what the teacher is telling you is the explanation. They're giving you more facts so you understand. For example, there is no explanation for those weird lights we saw in the sky last night. It wasn't a plane, it wasn't lightning, it wasn't a cloud. Must have been aliens.
I think it's aliens.
It's definitely aliens.
I think it's
for
aliens.
sure. There has to be aliens.
Yeah, or maybe it's a unicorn.
It could be a flying unicorn.
Maybe.
A glowing flying unicorn. Anything else, not possible.
Yeah. All right, so let's look at the explanation. Why is it bad luck when a black cat crosses your path? Okay, well, we have a few choices, right? The first one, it says, they were thought to be connected to witches. Oh, okay. Yes, I often think about this. When I think about witches, I think, okay, they have a black cat.
Sure.
So maybe it could be because of witches.
Right, there's been a long history of witches, old ladies with magic powers connected to cats. And I mean, yesterday we talked about Halloween, even a lot of Halloween decorations. If they have a witch, she'll have a broom.
And a black cat.
And she'll have a black cat.
That's right.
It's a connection there. What is a witch?
Okay, well, a witch is a person or someone thought to have magical powers, or they can practice powers, so they do spells, they make potions. If you've seen Harry Potter, it's kind of like the people we see in Harry Potter. Except we don't even know if it's true or not, but then people used to believe that they were witches a long time ago and that they had powers, they put spells, they had potions that made people do weird or things that we cannot explain. So for example, we can say people a long time ago believed witches were evil.
That's right. They're magic-using women. And in fact, I think Harry Potter, if he's a wizard, then Hermione, she could be a witch.
Oh, that's true.
You could call her that. They're not always bad, but of course today they're sort of these scary ladies with big noses and bumps on their face, and they go and do bad stuff, but not always. I guess you could have a good witch. Anyways, let's get back to the article. So there's a connection there. For A, the connection was between black cats and witches. That's why black cats are bad luck. Let's look at B. What's this explanation? Because in the dark, black cats, they look like floating eyes.
Oh, okay.
That is kind of creepy.
A little bit.
Sometimes I come home and I have my phone on, and I kind of shine it, and the cats are there sitting on the sofa, and all I see are these floating eyes, because in the dark, that's often all you can see, especially if your cat is a dark color too. Right, so eyes, everyone knows what those are. You all know that cats' eyes can glow, right? They bounce the light back very effectively. So it looks like the eyes are floating. They aren't actually, but float is a very good word to use to describe how that looks at night. To float, this verb basically means if you're talking about a boat floats on the water. It rests on the surface of the water. Okay, most boats will do that unless there's a problem and the boat sinks, or unless it's like a submarine that's supposed to go underwater. But most boats, most leaves, most pieces of wood, if you throw it onto the water, a river, a lake, whatever, it will float. Also, we can use float to talk about things that hang up in the air, like a balloon balloon will float, or like some birds almost seem to float. They have those big wings. They just kind of hang in one spot in the air. For example, the large hot air balloons floated over the mountain village because the hot air is keeping them hanging up in space there.
Right. Ghosts float as well, where they look
float.
like they float.
So do bubbles.
Yes.
I like bubbles. Let's talk about bubbles, not ghosts.
Yeah, bubbles are friendlier than ghosts.
Definitely. All right.
All right, so let's take a look at the next choice. It's C.
Okay.
Black cats don't live as long as other cats. So maybe the reason why the black cat crossing your path is because they have shorter lives, and it kind of symbolizes that you are going to have a shorter life as well.
Interesting. And
That's
you can kind of see, because black cats might get, hit by cars at night.
Because we can't really see them.
You can't see them. That's possible.
Poor cat.
But anyways, all right, so that's an interesting one. Well, let's go back to the article and get our answer. Before we get to it, there's a funny little quote here, a little saying, "Cat got your tongue?" As a question. When we use this expression, "cat got your tongue," it means you don't have the words, you can't find the words, you can't give me an answer right now. So cat got your tongue? The answer is A, of course. It's the connection to witches and all of that kind of stuff. That was probably the best one to guess. I would have guessed and turned out to be right. We'll get to the answer a little bit more, pay a little more attention to the answer, I should say, after our shortcut for you, which is all about the cat got your tongue.